At VA, we are honored to have partnered with tribal and state governments for the past 40 years to provide grants to help build veteran cemeteries in local communities. Since 1978, we've helped our partners by providing over $766 million in grants to establish veteran cemeteries. But we're not done yet, and we're going to continue that partnership. That 38,000 would not have had convenient access, as we define it in VA, if it were not for the Veteran Cemetery Grants Program and that commitment of states and tribal governments.
There are accounts of women who went to war because they had to, whose brothers were injured, and a sister rode in to protect him, and she fought, and she was able to save him. It was just such a feeling of pride, even though it was sadness that we were bringing our mother to her final resting place. And even though I had her all these years, it's still hard. It's still hard. I was real emotional, and I never thought funerals were beautiful, but I felt that that was the most beautiful service I'd ever been to.
The wind was blowing just like it is today. Up here, there's always a wind that just wraps you up, that just holds you tight. The day of Ronnie's funeral, it was a very beautiful day. Ronnie being at the Veteran Cemetery, I know that his headstone is taken care of. The grounds all around him is being taken care of. And that has helped a lot with the healing because it's a comfort.
Our main partner in constructing a facility like this is our partnership with the National Cemetery Administration, and specifically the Veteran Cemetery Grants Program. If it wasn't for that partnership that makes a project like this possible, states probably wouldn't build as many of these facilities as they do.
The role of the national cemeteries and our location being a state cemetery is really a true partnership role. This cemetery serves a great number of those veterans that may have not otherwise chosen a national or state cemetery just because it was too far away from their community.
In order for the cemetery to come to fruition, it took power in numbers. We had many programs involved. We had many veterans groups involved.
The Veterans Administration provided the funding for this cemetery. Everybody worked together to get it done.
We are a sovereign nation within a sovereign nation. Some of my great-grandfathers felt that that covenant of that treaty bonded us to also protect this country. And before we were considered U.S. citizens, some of my great-grandfathers fought in World War I. Having that commonality of serving this country, the cemetery is a testament of the U.S. government and tribal governments wanting to work together.
This is a place that's saying to all the servicemen and women, we've got your six. When you need us, we're here. I'm lucky. My husband, 48 years, came home for supper every single night. The people that are out on the front don't have that pleasure, but I have that pleasure because of them.
One of the pieces about a veteran cemetery is that a veteran will never be alone and a veteran will never be forgotten.
Every stone out there has a story. Every veteran has a story. And we are a cemetery. But everyone here on the team really looks at this almost more as a memorial.
Everybody's got a story. A story of the service to their country, a story of who they were when they were around. It's a final resting place for veterans to gather and be at.